The Biden administration goes back to SCOTUS over so-called ghost guns. Let's go ahead and talk about it. What's up, Wolverines? Welcome back to the channel. My name is John Crump. I'm an investigative journalist, and this is John Crump News, where we discuss 2A every day. Sorry I didn't make a video yesterday. I was busy trying to finish up some book stuff. My book comes out next month, so you're going to have to check it out. Please go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps with the algorithm, and engagement is the key to the algorithm. Okay, let's go ahead and thank today's sponsor. Gideon Optics makes some of the best optics at an affordable price. So why spend money on an optic where you can get a cheaper optic that is just as good? Go ahead and check out Gideon Optics, and for a limited time, you can use code CRUMPY and get 10% off and free shipping on all orders. The Biden administration has went back to the Supreme Court over ghost guns after Reed O'Connor vacated the rule, and it went up to the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, and the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals confirmed that most of the rule was still vacated. The Biden administration went ahead and went to SCOTUS and asked SCOTUS to reinstate the rule. SCOTUS put a stay on the vacation until they could decide whether to grant cert or not. When someone petitions the Supreme Court, they do what is called filing a writ of certiorari. If the Supreme Court decides to hear the case, they grant cert. If they decide not to hear the case, they deny cert. In this case, the government appealed the vacation of the rule to SCOTUS and asked them to grant cert. SCOTUS has not decided on that, but it did put a stay on the pistol frame rule until it can decide whether to grant cert or deny cert. So if the court denies cert, the rule will be once again vacated. If they decided to grant cert, it will depend on the arguments in front of the Supreme Court and what the Supreme Court ultimately decides. After the Supreme Court put a stay on the vacation of the rule, Defense Distributed and 80% Arms went back to the district court and argued in front of Judge Reed O'Connor for a new preliminary injunction. Reed O'Connor granted that preliminary injunction. The Biden administration thinks that by granting a preliminary injunction that he is basically thumbing his nose at the Supreme Court. They went back up to SCOTUS and said that Judge Reed O'Connor is subverting the court's ruling, and that the court said that the status quo should stay in effect and the rule should stay in effect. That's not exactly what the Supreme Court did. They stayed the vacation of the whole entire rule. They did not say that they stayed the preliminary injunctions, but the Biden administration is reading it that the preliminary injunctions are stayed and there could be no more preliminary injunctions while the case is being argued and the Supreme Court is deciding whether to grant cert or not. The Biden administration is asking the Supreme Court to stay this new injunction and any other injunctions that come down the pipe. Now, I don't think that they're going to get this day, but I could be wrong. Stranger things have happened. It will come down to Amy Coney Barrett, basically. So we'll have to see what happens with this. They were very, very pointed in their arguments, and they tried to put Defense Distributed 80% Arms and Judge Reed O'Connor in the worst light possible. It's really funny, though, that none of the media organizations that are reporting on this and the Biden administration themselves are not using Defense Distributed's name. Not really sure about that. Maybe they just don't like them, but it's just something interesting that I noticed. I talked to Cody Wilson, and he thought it was kind of comical that they're not using his name, and they are sure that they will win in the end. We'll just have to see what exactly is going to happen from this point forward. We should have something today or Monday, but it should be soon. It's not going to be weeks and weeks. It's going to be within a day or two. So we'll find out shortly. All right, guys, if you like what I do here, please give me that big thumbs up. If not, let me know down below why. It's engagement, so it still helps with the algorithm. And with that, we are out of here. If you want to help Pack 997, the link is down below in the description. So with that said, stay ever vigilant, stay ever free, keeping the fight. I am out of here, Wolverine's motherfucker.